Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
And my very great pleasure to welcome once again to Beach FM, Chris Papps, the chair of the Otaki Community Board. Chris, a very good morning and welcome to you.
Absolutely, and good morning to you and everybody else.
I do hope that you and your bubble and your community are doing well in these extraordinary times.
Yes, we're sticking to our bubble. We're doing a lot more walking than we used to do. The dog's taking full advantage of that and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of people out there walking, and it's very rare that you're out and you don't actually see someone you know. So you stop and have a chat, or obviously keeping a distance.
That's right.
And people are very, very friendly. Everybody waves and says hello, and total strangers. And that's one of the nice things about this. I think people have actually got a little bit more friendly towards each other, and you're actually seeing people smiling, and you'd think probably, perhaps they might not be, but they still are, which is really a nice feeling.
It is nice.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
And, the Prime Minister's words, those two words, be kind, seem to have resonated around the country. And I think more of us are taking some time to do that because, frankly, we do have the time. But you're right. I think people are showing a little bit more kindness, so that's wonderful. I just worry, though, there's very much an economic dimension to the times we're going through, and businesses must be really hurting. There's an enormous number of fixed costs with most businesses. And have you got any concerns about the business community in the Otaki area?
Yes, we have. I'll put my Elevate Otaki hat on now. I'm part of that committee, or that group, and we actually had a database of businesses on State Highway 1 and a few others that we drew up before Christmas now. And so all of us took a group of them, and we've rung around them and just said hi and just checked in, and a lot of them are really hurting. And I just hope that when we do come down to level 3, that some of these businesses will be able to start up again, because the longer we leave it, the harder it's going to be for them. And the last thing we want in Otaki is to lose some of our businesses that are going, and we really need them to keep there and keep strong. And hopefully that when we do get back to they're open and we're allowed out and about, but that our community remember this and actually make sure they do their shopping there and go and buy things off these businesses, just to make sure that they keep their head above water and keep going, because we do need them in our community.
Buy local, it's an investment in your community. I think really important. And you mentioned the State Highway 1 businesses, Chris. I imagine that there's a few decision points coming up for them anyway with the expressway developments. Do you think that the lockdown period is going to accelerate some of those decision points?
I'm not sure. I think there's a couple of businesses that are really on the edge, and that would be a shame if it causes them to close up. I don't know. I can't say which ones they are because I'm not sure, but it's just very, very difficult for them at the moment with not being able to operate. And with the Elevate Otaki group, this was part of what we were trying to push, that when the expressway goes through, to make Otaki a destination point, so people will come and do their shopping here, have a coffee, have something to eat. And I'm also on the steering group for the Gateway Sculptures, and we're hoping that will attract people into Otaki. They'll stop and have a look and come in and shop at our various businesses there, and as I say, have a meal or have a cup of coffee, and go and use our swimming pool and our recreational facilities, because we're very, very lucky in Otaki with those.
No doubt about that. And I think there's a real chance of that happening, Chris, because my impression is that many of the people who come to Otaki, and I'm thinking of Wellington in particular, they regard Otaki as the destination. And they are the people that we've got to retain, because frankly, many of the passing traffic, they just may regard Otaki as a little bit of an inconvenience, as a bottleneck at the moment, and they won't be stopping anyway. So it's those Wellington people who already have a fondness for Otaki, and to whom Otaki is already a destination. So it's very important to keep them coming, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. And this is part of the Gateway Sculptures as well. We're hoping that people may be heading south, if they might be going to the South Island for a trip or something, we'll see them on their way past and think, we'll stop and have a look at that on the way back, because you are going to be able to get out of your vehicle and walk up to them and touch them and walk around and sit down. And so we're just hoping that will create a little bit more tourism for Otaki as well.
When do you think they'll be up?
We're getting very, very close. We've got the final design. We're getting into the stage where we've got to try and figure out, how to put them all together. We're hoping that probably before the expressway opens, or at least when it does open. So they're not that far away. We are getting very, very close. And they'll be part of the southern one will be very close to the shared pathway, so you'll be able to cycle or walk along and walk right past it. So that will be fabulous down there. And the northern one is on the other side of that new bridge that's there that goes over the railway track, so it's up on the left there.
Yep.
So that's going to be very accessible as well.
Excellent. Can't wait for that. The community board's still in business.
Yes, we're very much in business. In fact, it's quite funny. We're actually meeting more regularly at the moment than we do normally. We're having a weekly meeting via Zoom, so we can just catch up with each other and check that we're all okay in our own little bubbles. But it's been very, very interesting to actually think, well, gosh, we're actually having a few more meetings than we did originally. So in that respect, it's actually been quite good. But the board's still functioning. We're still accepting grant applications. We can actually still process them. We're supposed to be having a meeting tomorrow night, which of course won't be happening. But we're having a meeting on Friday, and we had one last Friday and the Friday before. So we're actually having weekly meetings at the moment. So that's probably a little bit of a plus, I think. Yeah.
Do you think that in future that you may have more Zoom meetings, even when we get back to normality, that this Zooming, more frequent Zooms, could be part of the agenda?
I think they probably will be, but the thing I've found is you don't get the same interaction as you get when you're all sitting in a room together.
Yes.
Like I was at a council one last week as well, and there was about 20-odd people at it, but on the Zoom screen you only got nine people, yourself included.
Yep.
And you don't get the same sort of visual interaction that you get when you're sitting around the big council table with everybody there, where you can actually see everybody's expressions, and it's easier to actually put your hand up and ask to speak. And
sure.
I think just that personal interaction is very, very important, especially for a council and any big groups like that. You actually do need to actually see people and be in close contact with them.
Okay. Well, we certainly await further developments. Can't wait for those sculptures. That sounds really exciting. And lovely to talk to you once again here on Beach FM. Thank you so much, Chris Papps.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody.
106.3 Beach FM.